Hello, my name is Geraldo, and today I'm going to tell you what happened to me. When I was a child, I lived in an old neighborhood of the city, surrounded by dark streets and narrow alleys. It was the kind of place where urban legends came to life, and one of the stories that circulated most there was that of the urban werewolf. People said that, on full moon nights, a huge creature, half man, half wolf, roamed the streets looking for victims. I always thought it was just a story to scare children. Until that night. I must have been around 10 years old, and my parents went out to work the night shift, leaving me alone at home. It was a full moon night, and the wind was blowing hard, making the windows rattle. I was watching TV when I heard a distant howl. The sound was strange, deep and chilling. I remembered the legend of the werewolf, and for a moment I felt a chill run down my spine, but I tried to ignore it and continued watching. A few minutes later, I heard heavy footsteps outside my house. They came toward the front door, and every time they got closer, the ground seemed to shake. Fear began to take over me, and the TV could no longer distract my thoughts. I looked out the window, but I saw nothing, just shadows that seemed to dance with the moonlight. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. The sound was so unexpected that I almost jumped off the couch. Who would be at the door at that time? I approached slowly, trying not to make any noise, and looked through the peephole. All I saw was darkness. With my heart beating fast, I decided not to open it. I took a step back, and that's when I heard the sound of claws scratching at the door, followed by a low, threatening growl. I ran to hide under the bed, like I did when I had nightmares. But this time, the nightmare was real. The scratches on the door became more intense, and the wood began to give way. When everything went silent, I thought the creature was gone. But suddenly, I heard the living room window breaking, and heavy footsteps echoed through the house. I was petrified. The creature was inside. I heard the sound of heavy breathing. Something was sniffing the air. Fear paralyzed me, and I knew that if I made the slightest noise, it would be the end of me. It was then that, as I looked out of the bed, I saw a furry, monstrous paw dragging itself across the floor, right next to it. She stopped, as if she had sensed my presence. The silence was absolute, until suddenly, a pair of bright yellow eyes appeared, staring at me from under the bed. The last thing I heard was the deafening roar and the bed being brutally turned over. I ended up passing out, and when I woke up, there was nothing there anymore. So I got up, I went slowly, and when I got to the window,